for a lot of our kids. They think it's too far gone. They feel stuck. She's got 3 kids. She's living her life trying to do day-to-day stuff. And right now, it's probably easier for her to kind of set this up on the shelf. Not that it's right. It's just easier to deal with that way. Welcome to the Sally Harris Show, where moms of estranged adult children find faith, healing, and the courage to rise again. And today I have a special guest mom with us from New York. So welcome to the show.
Thank you.
All right. So I'm going to give a little bit of background context on your personal situation that you had shared with me. And she's going to be sharing her story of kind of a sudden no contact in a sense of the way it kind of went down. We're going to talk about that. She does have 3 grandchildren, but we're speaking about her 38-year-old daughter. And it's been about a year and a half that she has not had contact. And so we're going to kind of dive into that, how God played a role in this as well, in her faith, but what she is looking to do next. And so let's dive in. So my first question for you is, tell us a little bit about what your family context looked like prior to this situation happening.
Okay. I am a divorced mom of 2. I have a son who is 41 and a daughter, 38. My daughter is married, lives out of state, has 3 grandchildren. My son is married, no children. I am retired and have a lot of time on my hand and was helping out with my daughter as far as childcare and household stuff, making meals while I was there, somewhat cleaning and running the kids to their different events. And we were planning a vacation together. And about a month prior to this vacation, my daughter, I had very limited contact with her, not knowing why. And the day that I went over to leave for the vacation, I asked if I had done something to upset her. And I've got this strange response: "You ignored me, I'm ignoring you." So I left the house because I didn't feel I could go on a week-long vacation with that type of tension
Wow.
between.
So let me stop you for a second. So this happened the day before you were supposed to leave for a week vacation with her?
Correct.
Okay.
Yes. So ever since then, I have not had any contact with her. I've reached out 3 times through either email or text messaging, and I didn't receive any response. I do not believe that I should change who I am. I continued to give gifts for birthday and Christmas, and I didn't get anything back. I didn't receive any acknowledgement of my gifts to either her husband, or children. But I can't stop being me because of the way she is behaving.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So prior to this conversation that just kind of went sideways, people's feelings were hurt. That's a long time. A year and a half is a long time to carry on with no contact over something like that. Do you think there's something bigger here at play?
I do. There's a lot of confrontation, friction between her and her brother. She was upset that I helped my son out with a problem he had. Like I said, my husband is deceased, so it's really just me. And I don't believe that once a child turns 18, you stop being a parent. And I think there's some jealousy maybe there, that I was helping her brother out, but I felt he needed me.
Right, right. And she has 3 children, so one day she will understand that because it
Hopefully.
doesn't end at
Yes.
18, right? So what is one of the hardest parts for you has been the grief over losing the grandchildren, the contact there as well. Uh,
Absolutely.
Tell me a little bit about that.
Well, like I said, I have been with those children since they were born, since they were infants. They are 11, 8, and 6. I was over there probably every other week at least, helping out. I know those children love me. They know I love them. I'm sure they are very confused why Nanny's not coming around. And it just hurts not to be able to see them, talk to them, even just to FaceTime with them. It's very hurtful.
Have you attempted to reach out to with the children via FaceTime or whatnot?
Through my daughter, no, I haven't. And the reason why is it was very hard for me to survive after I sent those 3 messages that went unanswered. It hurts too much not to get a response. And I was almost afraid of not getting a response should I ask to have contact with them.
And I'll be honest, that is the number one cue that you need to listen to. All moms listening, the question arises all the time like, should I send the Merry Christmas? Should I send gifts? Should I do the birthday? Should I do this, that? Should I reach out in general? And it's not a blanket answer because the number one thing I always say is, are you going to be okay if you don't get a response? And some people can say yes. I'm to the point where I will be okay. And others, you're just not ready. And so for that, I totally understand and respect why you haven't. I'm hoping you can get to the point where you can, though, because before too much more time passes, for the children's sake as well, because I'm sure they miss you greatly as well. And if, I know you want the relationship with your daughter too. It's a package. It's a
Right.
package deal here. If you're listening today and you're thinking, I really need more support, I do offer what's called a heart-to-heart consultation. It's a 30-minute consultation. It's not a coaching call, but it's designed for moms who are ready to explore coaching, whether it be one-on-one or group coaching. So if that is you and you're interested, you can check out the link below. We'll see you soon. Many moms listening struggle with guilt and self-blame, right? We all have a list of things we could say, oh, I wish I wouldn't have said that or done that. Who doesn't, right? It doesn't make you a bad mom. But looking back, you shared that you wish you had done a few things differently. And one of them was establish healthier limits earlier.
Yes.
Tell me about that.
So I have always been a people pleaser. I have always tried to fix things, make people happy, even if it was at my own expense. I've been told that by other family members, and I think I set myself up to be taken advantage of. And I made one of those catastrophic mistakes that in watching your podcast and listening, I did say that to her that I had turned my life upside down. I drop whatever I need to do or have scheduled in order to accommodate her. And I know that was wrong to do because the response was, you cannot make me feel guilty, which wasn't my intent. It was, I guess sometimes I look for that acknowledgement, that appreciation. And I shouldn't.
Right. Well, and I can understand. I understand that. I also can understand your daughter's point too, where if that could have been the catalyst.
Right.
Have you ever apologized for that specifically?
No, I have not. That happened during that last conversation. I have in the past, when we have had confrontations, gone back and apologized. I have never received an apology. And I feel that so much time has gone on. She does not know how to get out of this. She doesn't know how to fix this.
And you, to have a relationship with her, if you know that about your daughter, that is very common for a lot of our kids. They think it's too far gone. They feel stuck. She's got 3 kids. She's, living her life trying to do day-to-day stuff. And right now it's probably easier for her to kind of set this relationship. I always say set this up on the shelf. Not that it's right, but that's what a lot of our kids do because it's just easier to deal with that way. I'll
Yes.
deal with that situation later. And maybe she was hurt and felt like you really didn't want to be there, helping in all the ways that you did. And it's not that you didn't want to be.
Right.
It's not that you didn't want to be. It's just you didn't feel any appreciation or maybe a thank you or, because they live 2 hours away. So you were running a lot.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah. So tell me how your faith has been a source of strength for you.
Well, I have really jumped in as far as volunteering at my church. It is a wonderful community of people, and I have made some very good friends at church. I was raised as a Catholic, so I've always been a practicing Catholic. And I'll tell you, there isn't a day that goes by that I'm not praying for this to be resolved. At the time, my church members have really helped me through a lot of this because I don't sit around thinking about it. I'm thinking, how can I help? What can I do for the church? So it's been a great source of strength for me.
Strength and a good distraction.
Yes.
Right. And when we're serving other people, that's the best thing we can do, even for
Right.
ourselves. So that's
Right.
beautiful. One last question I have for you is if your daughter was listening to this by chance, what would you want her to know?
I would want her to know I love her. I will always love her. I am here for her, whatever she or any member of her family needs. I would love to get past all this and, see my grandkids again and give them the biggest hug and kiss that Nanny can do. And just that I love her.
And you can move forward without any grudges. You could move forward like let's just move forward, right?
Yes,
And learn to appreciate each other a little bit more. I think that seems to be kind of the defining factor here is I don't think either one of you felt appreciated.
absolutely.
And that's why it's easy to have those, conversation and it's like but usually that there's so much more deep down probably
Right,
in her that maybe she felt that way then hasn't shared it, which is why one conversation that goes sideways like that can be such a deal breaker.
right,
But it doesn't mean it's forever, and so I'm proud of you for not giving up hope. You're relying on your faith. I would encourage you to start praying about the timing of reaching out to her with that apology. Not a long drawn out apology, but that specific thing. I only know a short little bit of your story here, but to me that right there was to me that stood out as in something that she really does need and it might just open the door. Again, I wouldn't make it a long drawn out and apologize for anything and everything you ever said or did. But that one thing could be the catalyst for what she needs to hear. And I know in your heart you're sorry. It's just been too painful for you to reach out again because I'm not getting a response.
right.
So when you're ready, I would say that is your next move.
Okay,
Yeah. What do you have to lose?
exactly.
Right? Yeah. Yeah. Well, it was a pleasure to have you here and your vulnerability and your honesty. And I wish and I pray only the best for you and your family, for your volunteering, your work, all the things that you're doing for the Lord, and for also, I know how much you love your grandkids as well as your daughter. And
Thank you.
I pray that reconciliation comes swiftly for you this year in 2026.
Thank you very much. Thank you for having me.
You're welcome. Take care. And for those of you that are listening to this and you're wanting to share your story, you can fill out an application. You can reach us at team@sally-harris.com. We'll see you in the next episode. God bless.